Hello, dear students. Welcome back to EasEnglish, your English learning program. This is teacher Rodrigo Lasso Campo as usual, and I am very glad to present lesson 101. Lesson 101. And the title of the lesson is We Count. We count. In the lesson, you are going to see some children counting bags. Counting bags. Here are many bags. Counting bags. En algunas de las lecciones anteriores usted se ha familiarizado con un bag. Bag. Pero aquí vamos a hablar de bags. Bags. Y quiero que se familiarice con un nuevo concepto de que bags es el nombre para todos o para cualquier tipo de insectos. Aquí entonces tenemos muchos tipos de bugs. Tenemos muchos bugs. We have spiders, butterflies, ants, slugs, ladybugs y otros. De eso vamos a hablar en esta lección. And you are going to see some children counting bugs. How many bugs do you see? I see many bugs, too many bugs. Now, let's get ahead. Well, let's begin. In this picture, we see a boy using a lens. This is a lens. And why is he using this device? He is using the lens because some bugs, some insects are too little. So it is necessary for him and for all of us to magnify the very little bugs. And in this picture is an ant. Ant. This is an ant. And the boy says, I can count 10 ants. I can count 10 ants. You and I can say that he can count 10 ants. Here is a butterfly. And this butterfly is being magnified by the use of a lens, which this girl is using. And she says, you can count 10 butterflies. Can you count 10 butterflies? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I can count 10 butterflies. Can you count 10 butterflies? Here is the boy counting flies. This is a fly. Do you like flies? I don't like flies. And he says, I can count 10 flies. This boy can count 10 flies. Do you see the flies? Well, they are too small in this picture, but he can count 10 flies. Here, in this picture, is the girl. You see, this is a dog. And she says, you can count 10 fleas. I see only one flea here. This is a flea. But on this dog, there are many fleas, I guess. And she counts 10 fleas. Fleas. Here on this dog are many fleas, and she can count 10. Here is the boy again. He has used a shovel to dig and get some grubs under the ground. Here are some grubs. This is one grub. And he says that he can count 10 grubs. He says, I can count 10 grapes. Do you see 10 grapes? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grapes. I can count 10 grapes. Can you count 10 grapes? In this other picture is a ladybug. Ladybug. This is a ladybug. And one of the kids says that you can count 10 ladybugs. 10 ladybugs. Well, maybe here on this leaf there are 10 ladybugs. They are too little, very little ladybugs. But the kid says that he or she can count 10 ladybugs. You can count 10 ladybugs. This is a ladybug. Ladybugs are really beautiful. I like ladybugs very much. Here is the boy one more time, and he is looking at beetles. This is a beetle. Beetle. And he says, I can count 10 beetles. Can you count 10 beetles? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 beetles. I can count 10 beetles. Beetles. Then the girl again. She is counting crickets. Crickets. This is a cricket. En las ruinas, en los escombros, es muy usual encontrar crickets, cuyo sonido a veces es molesto. El ruido es molesto. You can count 10 crickets. Let's see. Are there 10 crickets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 crickets. You can count 10 crickets. Can you count 10 crickets? This is a slug. Slug. And this boy is counting slugs. Slugs. He says, I can count 10 slugs. Do you see 10 slugs? Can you count 10 slugs? Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can count 9 slugs. Let me count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that's right. I can count 10 slugs. 10 slugs. And here, both the boy and the girl are counting spiders. This is a spider. And they say, we can count 10 hungry spiders. They are hungry. They want to eat. What will they eat? They eat bugs. Here are some butterflies that these spiders will probably eat. The spiders eat insects, bugs. And the 10 spiders these children are counting are very hungry. They are hungry. Are you hungry? These spiders are going to eat insects, slugs, flies, beetles, ladybugs, etc. What will you eat? What do you eat? Do you eat insects? I don't think so. Well, now it is time to move on to the activities. This is a sorting activity. This is a classification activity. You see there are some pictures. You and I should sort out or classify these pictures into groups, into kinds, into categories. First, we are going to call the names of the objects in the pictures. And after that, we're going to sort them out or classify them into kinds, into categories. This is a dove, or you can also say this is a pigeon. This is a boat. This is a bee. Here is a cow. This is a train. This is a fish. This is a dolphin. This is a butterfly. This is a plane or a jet. This is a car. This is an elephant. And finally, this is an octopus. Then we are going to sort them out into groups, into categories. You do it, and I will do it. Well, it is clear that there are animals and transport. We have animals and transport, ways of transport. But in both groups, there are animals that move in the air and transport that move in the air. Animals that move on the ground and transport that moves on the ground. Animals that move in water and transport that moves in water. So we are going to mix, vamos a mezclar animals and transport. And we have three kinds. Animals and transport that move in water, animals and transport that move in the air, and animals and transport that move on the ground. So let's make those groups. Here are the three groups. In group number 1, we can see animals and transport that move in water. In group number 2, there are animals and there is one way of transport that go in the air. And in group 3, we have animals and transport that go on the ground. Then we can say that boats, fish, dolphins, and octopuses go in water or move in water. Bees, doves, butterflies, and planes move in the air. And elephants, cows, trains, and cars move on the ground. Ahora, usted, después de haber oído esta descripción que yo acabo de hacer, va a escribirlo. Lo comparará con lo que escribiré yo. Here are the sentences. Group 1. Boats, fish, dolphins, and octopuses move in water. Group 2. Bees, doves, butterflies, and planes move in the air. And group 3. Elephants, cows, trains, and cars move on the ground. Well, now we are turning to activity 2. This is activity 2. In this activity, we have 6 different bags, 6 different insects. An ant, a butterfly, a flea, a fly, a ladybug, and a spider. The activity consists in sorting out these bags, in classifying these bags into kinds, into categories, into groups. Usted piense cuántos grupos puede ver aquí representados y luego sort the bags out into as many groups as you think can fit. Yo voy a hacerlo también y luego compararemos. Here we are. I have sorted out the bags into two groups. One group with bags or insects that cannot fly, and the other group with bags or insects that can fly. Then we can say that ants, spiders, and ladybugs cannot fly, but butterflies, fleas, and flies can fly. Ahora, escribámoslos. Yo los escribo, usted también, y luego comparamos. Here, ants, spiders, and ladybugs cannot fly, but butterflies, fleas, and flies can fly. Was it good? Alright, now it is time for us to move on to activity number 3. This activity is about words that begin in C and words that do not begin in C. Here are the letter C, capital, and little. We are going to identify the names to the objects in the pictures, and then we will say whether each name begins or does not begin in the letter C. What is this? You know, this is a cow. This is a bee. This is corn. This is a car. This is a cup. And this is a fly. Con base en lo que usted oyó, ya sabe cuáles begin in C y cuáles do not begin in C. Ahora dígalo conmigo. Cow begins in C. Bee does not begin in C. Corn begins in C. Car begins in C. Cup begins in C. And fly does not begin in C. En otras palabras, podemos decir cow, corn, car, and cup begin in C, but bee and fly do not begin in C. Ahora escribámoslo. Here we are. Cow, corn, car, and cup begin in C, but bee and fly do not begin in C. You got it? This is the end of activity 3, and now we are turning to activity 4, the last activity in this lesson. This is activity 4, and this activity consists in capitalizing. Capitalizing is the same as writing capital letters. Let me write this. Here, capitalizing is the same as writing capital letters. Then this activity is about writing capital letters where necessary. Usted sabe que toda palabra inicial de una oración debe llevar su letra inicial en capital letters. Es eso lo que vamos a hacer. Vamos primeramente a leer cada enunciado y luego reescribiremos la primera palabra de cada enunciado y tendremos en cuenta que la letra inicial de esa palabra debe ser escrita en capital letters. Let's do it. We can count spiders. Digámoslo otra vez. We can count spiders. Sentence 2. I can count crickets. I can count crickets. Sentence 3. You can count ladybugs. You can count ladybugs. And sentence 4. There are 10 bugs. There are 10 bugs. Ahora hagamos la segunda parte. Here we are. Every initial letter has been capitalized. Here we can see capital W, capital I, capital Y, and capital T. We can count spiders. I can count crickets. You can count ladybugs. There are 10 bugs. Antes de terminar esta lección, me gustaría que hiciéramos una actividad adicional y consiste en counting bugs. In this picture, there are many bugs: ants, butterflies, fleas, flies, grubs, ladybugs, beetles, crickets, slugs, and spiders. I have some questions to ask you. And the first question is, how many spiders do you see? How many spiders do you see? There are 10 spiders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many butterflies do you see? There are 10 butterflies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 butterflies. How many ants do you see? There are 10 ants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 ants. Y así sucesivamente. Me gustaría que usted formulara la pregunta acerca de cada insect en esa imagen y responda la pregunta que usted mismo formula. Voy a escribirlas, 2 ejemplos o 3, para que usted tenga el modelo y usted lo hará por su cuenta. Well, that's all. Dear students, it's been nice talking to you this time, but I know it would be nicer for me to talk to you in the next lesson. Take care and see you soon.